Hello and welcome to Marbella with him and her. He is
PJ Lopez and she is
Hannah Murray. So you say you're PJ Lopez, but you kind of look like Luigi from Super Mario Brothers.
Okay, I didn't know we were going to get into this as early as this, but
PJ's got a moustache.
yes, and I haven't just decided to, give it a try and see what I look like. We'll come back to this later because we've got a lot to talk about with Abigail's party. But yes, I'm trying to grow a moustache for the part.
Something you need to get used to is stuff sticks to your moustache.
Oh, I haven't got anything on it, have I?
Well, a little bit of toothpaste, maybe. Maybe
Yeah.
it's just grey.
See, that's why I don't like facial hair.
Oh, you look distinguished.
I look disgusting.
No, you don't.
I've never had facial hair. I'm not really one that can grow. I wasn't even sure that this would work, and I'm not sure it's doing
It has
much
worked.
now.
It's only like day 6 and you can full on see it.
Yeah, but I think it's like got to a halt. I'm
I
not
can't
sure
stop
it's gonna
looking at it
Yes.
in
Anyway,
an intriguing way.
what have we been up to this week?
We've had a ridiculously busy week, haven't we? So we recorded the last podcast on Tuesday because we knew we were going away at the weekend. Before we went away on Friday, I had a call, my first call from an AI bot called Bordy. Now, this is something I had arranged. The guy behind Bordy is called Andrew D'Souza, who's a very successful businessman, and he's put together this idea, I don't know how he does it, it's incredibly clever, of an AI bot who can help you with business ideas and suggestions. So I wanted to interview him to talk about Bordy. Before doing the interview, I got an email saying, well, let's arrange a chat with Bordy. So I had no idea what to expect or how it was going to go. I took a call from AI bot Bordy. I recorded the interview because I wanted to play it to you. And it was amazing, wasn't it? I mean,
It was scary. It was like having an interview with a normal person.
yeah.
Obviously, it's got his accent, so he's got an Australian accent,
Yeah.
hasn't he?
Yeah.
On Australian accent and
Australian accent. Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't have known that you were talking to a bot at all.
No, I mean, there was a little bit of a gap and things. He said at the beginning, I might talk over you a little bit. Apologies for that. But he was really good. He asked me about me and what I did and what I'd like help with. And I talked about the podcast, to be honest. I said it would be great to get Marbella with him and her out there to a wider audience. How do we let other people know about us? And he gave some good advice.
He did. Some of which is you lot. You've got
Yes.
to share it for us, please.
Yes, please help us.
It was very, very interesting. And as I said, quite scary. I mean, I use ChatGPT in my day-to-day job, not as a replacement for anyone, I hasten to add, just as an assistant. So, if I need to write an article, I'll ask it for some information and some facts, and then I will rewrite that article to add my own tone of voice to it.
Yeah, it's very clever. And I've been using ChatGPT for some of my quiz questions as well. And again, I'm still getting to grips with it. It often gives me the same questions over and over again. If I ask for 20 geography questions, I'll get the same ones as last time. It can be difficult to get new information, but it's certainly helpful.
And there are people that have these chatbots as their girlfriends or boyfriends.
Yeah, that's a bit sad though, isn't it?
Oh, so you don't want to meet Abigail that I've got?
Yeah, let's
No.
no, let's not
Okay,
go down
all right,
that road.
okay,
No.
all right.
So we went to London at the weekend. We had a ridiculously early start. We went out for dinner on the Friday night, didn't we, to Bombay Grill.
Bombay Grill. So that's our local San Pedro Indian. In fact, it's our only San Pedro Indian restaurant, to be fair.
But it's a good one. We do like the food there.
Yeah.
And a group of our friends go there most Friday nights on a kind of Friday frolicking group. And we went on Friday because there were some friends who'd arrived from the UK. So we all got together and, yeah, really rate their Indian food. So if you're in San Pedro area and you want an Indian, Bombay Grill would be the place to go. But then we went home and got up like 3 hours later. We had to leave the house at 3:30 in the morning on the Saturday.
Yes, to get to the airport on time to fly for 6:30, was it? Or 6:20 a.m. our
Yeah,
flight?
about that. Yeah, ridiculous. But we got to the airport and it was packed, wasn't it? There were loads of other crazy people flying at silly o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, so anyway, no issues. We got through. What we did do is we went through to the gate as soon as possible. So, I mean, there's not much open at that time anyway, so it wasn't worth hanging around the main airport area. So as soon as we knew the gate area, not the gate number necessarily, but the gate area B, C or whatever it was, we went through, and there's coffee shops on that side. So we had
worth doing, because there were queues at passport control, weren't there? So if you leave it too late until the number is revealed, the letter and the number, it can be too late and people have got caught. So as soon as the letter is revealed, get through passport control straight away.
Yeah, so smooth flight into Southend. Never been there before.
Southend we went to.
And it sounded like we were going to Southend as well, didn't it? There was lots of people from Essex on the flight.
Yeah, everyone on the plane sounded the same. It was funny.
It's quite interesting airport. It's like a shed.
Yes, it was very small. Small but efficient.
Yes, exactly. And we got on a train. We like a train in the UK, don't we?
Oh, I love a train anyway. I mean, what I love about flying into the UK, I have to say, it's really green. You know, when you're flying into Spain, into Malaga particularly, it's very brown, very mountainous, gorgeous mountains, but really brown. And then flying into the UK, it's really green, all the hills.
Yeah, it's shades of green, isn't it? As opposed to here,
gorgeous.
It's sort of a bit of... there is green, because Andalusia's got greenery, but it's not vibrant green, and it's in between greyness of rocks and blueness of sea and things like that, and lakes and things. But
it's very different, but I do like seeing that green flying into the UK. We went to Westfield Shopping Centre in Stratford.
Yeah, so Stratford was interesting. I mean, Stratford I don't think was anything like it is now pre-2012. And they built a lot for the Olympics. So the whole Olympic village was around Stratford, basically. And this is where West Ham now have their home ground, because they took over the Olympic or the London Stadium, I think it's called.
In Westfield, we found the Prosecco bar.
Yes, very quickly. And we parked ourselves in the Prosecco bar before going to lunch at the Real Greek.
Oh, love the Real Greek. Isn't it fabulous?
It was amazing food and quite buzzy. Quite a lot of people in there.
The halloumi popcorn with honey, absolutely delicious.
So I've got the cookbook.
Yeah.
So I should have that. I should have that recipe.
Oh my God, you need to make it. If you can make that, I'm never leaving the house.
Okay, I will be looking up halloumi popcorn.
Yes.
And you know the owner, don't you? Or the person that set it all up? Or you know of her? She's a friend
Tonya
of a friend.
Buxton. She's a good friend with Emma Sale, a friend of mine, and I've interviewed her, which is how we got the cookbook.
Ah, is that how?
Yeah, absolutely. Years ago, I interviewed her.
Thank you, Tonya.
Thank you, Tonya. You had an interesting time in Westfield, desperately searching to try and find me an anniversary present, because part of the reason we went to the UK and stayed over at least was because it was our 7-year wedding anniversary. We couldn't find any itching powder, so instead we wanted to get copper presents because it was the copper anniversary.
Yes, and I had ordered something in plenty of time, which then turned into a bit of a nightmare because it was meant to be here the Thursday before we went, and usual sort of thing that they didn't have it in stock, it wasn't going to arrive, so I didn't have a present.
So what did you get me?
Well, in the end, I got you Charlotte Tilbury makeup. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And copper tones. Copper tones.
Copper tones eyeshadow.
There you go.
How great is that? It was really good, because also the packaging is copper coloured, rose gold, copper, same thing. And copper tones eyeshadow. So it was great.
And then when we got home, the present that I cancelled because it wasn't going to arrive in time arrived. So you now have 2 presents.
So I also got a copper water bottle, which has lots of health benefits.
Yes, now I can't say this word.
Ayurvedic.
That's the one. That's exactly the word I was trying to say.
Lovely.
Very badly. And it has lots of these properties, so it's very good for thyroid and lots of different things. So having it in pure copper, basically.
It's like you know me.
It's like I know stuff.
Yes. And then I got you also 2 presents, so it worked out really well. I got you a set of copper frying pans, 3 different sizes.
Yes, because I did have some from your mum and your dad a while ago, but I have exhausted them. In other words, they've gone to shit now. So... What? I'm allowed to say little words like that?
No, I think I should buzz it out.
No, you keep that in. And I've got a new set because the copper, nothing sticks to it until you screw them up, and then lots of things stick to it. Okay. So I've got to look after these a little bit better.
And I also bought you a set of 2 Moscow Mule jug things. What are they called? Tankards.
Yes.
Copper...
If you've ever had a Moscow Mule, it's what you get your cocktail in, basically. Yeah. So they're sort of like pitted copper mugs, I guess.
Yes. So well done. We did very well on the copper presents.
Yep, very good. I thought, on our anniversary or as soon as we got back, you would have made me a Moscow Mule in my cups.
We should do that. Maybe we'll do that tonight.
No, you should do it. You bought me.
I'll do it
my
later.
Present. Yes.
We'll have a Moscow Mule after this.
Yes. Yeah. Why don't we? I know we haven't got any lime.
We went back to the UK mainly to see Abigail's party at Stratford East, which is why we were in Stratford. We couldn't believe it when PJ found online that they were doing Abigail's party, because obviously that's what we're doing with the International Theatre Studio in 3 weeks' time, just under.
Yes, squeaky bottom time.
Absolutely. So we went to see Abigail's party, as did our director, my dad, and a lot of the cast and producer and prompt and everything. We all went back to see Abigail's party, which was great.
And it was obviously starring Tamzin Outhwaite,
who was brilliant.
She was amazing.
Brilliant.
Always been a fan of Tamzin Outhwaite, actually, ever since the days of EastEnders. And we're actually watching something with her in now as well, aren't we?
The Wives.
Oh, we just finished it. Yeah.
No, it's on tomorrow night.
Oh, we haven't finished it yet. Yeah.
So as soon as we got back, Monday night, it started, The Wives.
Yeah.
So it's on telly.
And there was Kevin Bishop was in it as well, the comedian.
It was funny to meet Kevin Bishop, I have to say, because, can I tell this story?
I think you did last week, did you not?
I don't think so. When I was at college, I went out with a guy called Kevin Bishop, and we were doing acting and things together. And then this Kevin Bishop, who we saw in Abigail's party, was on television. And my boyfriend at the time, Kevin Bishop, was very perturbed, shall we say, that there was a much more famous and successful Kevin Bishop than him. So it was very funny to have met this Kevin Bishop. And I told him the story of my ex, Kevin Bishop, and sent him a message with a photo. And he was like, "Arr." But he said that his wife Wendy had also been to see Abigail's party and thought it was fantastic. So, and they were, funny story.
Not only were they brilliant in the whole production, also it showed that we're coming along very well. There wasn't a lot they did. Path. Yeah, there wasn't a lot they did that we thought, oh wow, we should do that. We took maybe a couple of tiny little things to adapt, and make into our own. But other than that, we were very pleased. But they met us afterwards in the bar.
Oh, it was so nice. I went straight up to Tamzin and said, "Oh, well done, you were fantastic. We've flown over from Spain." And she said, "Oh, you're the guys from Spain," because she'd seen and liked your message on Twitter, so they knew we were coming. So that was really special.
I think that was after when we were going in, and we said to the girl collecting all the tickets and checking the tickets, "Oh, we've flown over from Spain. Oh, you're the one from..."
Oh, she said that as well,
yeah. So it seems like everybody knew we were going over from Spain. So my social media campaign worked.
Brilliant. Everybody else was flying back to Spain the same day. So as soon as the show finished, everyone was like, "Bye, bye, bye." And they rushed off to the airport. But we were spending the night, which was nice. We'd booked a hotel at Canary Wharf.
Which was amazing. Love Canary Wharf.
Oh, we loved it. I mean, have to say, we were so lucky with the weather. It was clear blue skies virtually the whole time. The difference between seeing lots of buildings with a blue sky background compared to a grey background, greyish buildings with a grey background looks pretty dull, I'd say. But Canary Wharf in the sunshine was absolutely spectacular.
And I haven't been there for a long, long time. I mean, a long time. It's changed dramatically. There's a lot more buildings. And that one that you sort of walk towards, and I just kept looking up and up and up and up. And I think it was classified as the tallest residential building. If not, I think it said the world. I'm pretty sure it said the world. And it was just quite thin, but very tall.
I wouldn't like to live on the top floor of that.
No, never. I wouldn't like to live halfway up it, to be fair.
The views would be amazing, to be honest, but...
Yeah, but so that was quite interesting. And lots of water, obviously, because it being Canary Wharf. And we'd booked a beautiful restaurant for our anniversary called 6 by Nico.
Yeah, we were really looking forward to it. And it's a 6-course tasting menu, which is where the name comes from. Only £50 per person, which is great price for London.
Oh, amazing value.
And he changes the theme of the courses every few months.
Every 6 weeks. So when we were there, it was called Tokyo.
So it had an Asian feel to it. My favourite, I think... I'm a massive mushroom lover, which I know I've talked about on the pod before. And there was one called Crispy Enoki Mushroom, which was absolutely stunning. I cannot tell you.
Yeah, I don't think I could have picked out a favourite. I think they were all stunning.
Yeah, I mean, they were, definitely. But mushrooms always wins for me. There was a delicious ramen dish, a miso sea bass ramen. Gorgeous. The flavour that you get in the ramen.
Yeah, there's these tiny... I mean, it's like Michelin star style food, so... It's tiny, tiny little morsels of food. But the amount of flavour he packed into that was absolutely insane.
Yeah, we loved it.
He has quite a few restaurants. I think it's in Glasgow, in Belfast. He's got quite a few around the world as well. If you're ever out and about and you happen to see 6 by Nico, highly recommend it.
Yeah. Then on the Sunday, we had arranged to go for a pub lunch, meeting some of my family, my auntie and uncle and one of my cousins and his kids. We met in a pub in Epping called the George and Dragon.
We went to the deepest, darkest depths of Essex.
It was great, really nice, fabulous English pub.
Oh, yeah. Line caught cod I had.
Nice.
Yeah, I could see them out the back catching it.
And I had a delicious chicken roast dinner. It was gorgeous.
Yes.
Really nice and lovely to see family. And we had a little trip down memory lane as well. We were going to get the train back, the tube.
Central line.
And they very kindly offered to take us a little bit further down the tube line. So we had a car.
Mile End they took us to.
So we were in a car with them and we went to lots of places like where my dad was born and the house that him and his sister grew up in. Also past a place that my mum worked in Bow as a teacher. And it was really lovely to see, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was lovely. Really nice.
Really special. Got back to Spain, have been doing loads of rehearsals. We're coming on with our lines, aren't we?
They're getting there, yeah. And as you said earlier in the pod, how quickly this is going to come round now.
Yes, so tickets are definitely on sale. They're more than half sold. So if you want to come and see us in Abigail's party, please get your tickets now. internationaltheatrestudio.org is the website. And we'll be performing at the El Paraiso Hotel on the 11th, 12th and 13th of October. That's the Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's worth coming just to see me and a moustache.
Yes, Luigi. We, on Friday, were very excited and thankful and delighted to have been invited to the Geranium lunchtime tapas menu launch.
So Geranium is called Geranium by Chef Steven Saunders. And it's in La Cala, and he does a very similar menu to 6 by Nico. And we've mentioned that before because we've been there, and he does a tasting menu for €49 or €69. So very good value and amazing food, amazing flavours as well. But he's just launched a tapas menu.
Yeah, it's great. It's a big, extensive menu, but we had a taster of it. So he'd put together a menu which included his delicious bread with lemon cream. It's literally the best bread we've ever tasted. Some particular highlights, the seared scallop. We haven't had scallops in ages, have we? It was so delicious.
Love scallops.
Really nice. The steamed bao bun I particularly like.
Yeah.
Did I just say bao bun?
Gloss over it quickly.
Steamed bao bun with an N. And it wouldn't be something that I would normally order on a menu, but it had pork belly in it, and it was unbelievably good.
Yeah, again, I go back to the flavours. It was just all packed solid with flavour.
Really light as well, the bao bun. Loved it.
Buzzy, wasn't it? It was a packed restaurant. Obviously, it was his launch day. The mayor of, was it the mayor of Fuengirola or the mayor of La Cala? Mayor of Fuengirola.
Was there, yeah.
He was there as well, so he popped in. It was a great event, and we got chatting to some lovely people next to us from Denmark.
Yes, they were regulars at the restaurant, and we're talking about price. You know, the price of fine dining in Denmark is at least 3 times the price of what they get at the Geranium, for example. So they love their food, so they're regulars there because they cannot believe the quality of the food for the price that it is compared to what they pay in Denmark. So they love it there. And then I'm very lucky, 2 days in a row, for goodness sake. Yesterday, Saturday, I went to La Sala by the sea for lunch with my friend Charlotte. So when I first got there about 1:30, there was only a couple of tables in the restaurant. And I thought to myself, oh, yeah, you know, it's coming towards the end of the season. There's not so many people around. Charlotte arrived sort of 5-10 minutes after me. And by that time, every single table in the restaurant was taken with people there for lunch. It was absolutely packed. There were loads of people with beds, dancing. There was a few brides-to-be, you know, hen weekends with the, what's it called? The veil. Yeah, the white veil and the white swimming costume and everything. Just full of people having a great time. And I was so thankful for the weather because that morning it looked like it was going to rain. It was grey skies. And I thought, oh gosh, I hope it's going to be nice for our lunch. But by the time I got there, it was absolutely stunning.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realise that you don't have to go to La Sala by the sea and book a bed and do the whole thing. You can book in for lunch and they do amazing food there. It really is a great place. Obviously, you've got all the people that are there for the pool day, so you get that sort of atmosphere. You get that when you're having lunch.
Yeah, so you get good music and you get to see people having a good time. I mean, literally, Charlotte said to me, you could sit here all day and people watch, couldn't you? It really is fascinating to watch.
But you couldn't do that because we had plans in the evening.
Yes. We had, just to say what we had for food, we had the Thai sharing platter, because their menu is very Thai-inspired and influenced. They have a proper Thai chef, so the food there is absolutely spectacular. So the Thai sharing platter is always a good one.
Yes, well, I wouldn't know because I wasn't invited.
Next time. Yesterday evening, we went to Gibraltar to see Michael McIntyre, the Michael McIntyre. He was brilliant, wasn't he?
Laughed from start to finish.
We were crying with laughter, literally belly laughing.
Yeah. And I'm going to say, like a lot of people have said, I wouldn't have said I'm a huge fan before going. I like him, I've watched him, I've seen him, and I wouldn't make a point of watching him on TV if he's on TV just because he's Michael McIntyre. But wow, his show was some of the funniest material I've seen for a long time.
Yeah, he's very animated.
Heard for a long time. Heard. We saw him.
Both.
Yeah.
He's very animated, he moves about a lot. Jimmy Carr, who was also brilliant, the difference between the two is huge. So Jimmy Carr does a lot of one-liner jokes. He involved the audience in a big way, and he stood still quite a bit. Michael McIntyre was using the whole stage. He's very physical with his comedy. Hardly told any jokes. It was all stories, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he didn't involve the audience as much. I mean, there were a few points that he involved the audience, when he pointed somebody out, but mainly it's stories. But a lot about Gibraltar. He made a lot of the stuff about Gibraltar as well, didn't he?
Yeah, and great hearing him talk about the runway, looking out the window and seeing the size of a runway.
Yeah, he gave
the smallest in the world.
A whole demonstration on how a plane stops normally and how a plane stops on Gibraltar runway.
He said that on the plane, the pilot or one of the crew or whatever announced that, did you know that Gibraltar is the shortest runway in the world? He's like, why do we need to know that as we're coming into land?
Oh, I mean, this is going out after he's been there, so it's not a spoiler alert. But the funniest thing is when he said, when he was checking in, he said, "Oh, where are you going? Gibraltar or Malaga?" No, Gibraltar or Malaga. And a lot of people that have flown to Gibraltar will realise why they say that, because if it's too windy, you get diverted to Malaga.
Yes.
So he was making a whole joke about that, which was very funny.
Brilliant. And then we were very hungry on the way home because there wasn't enough time to eat beforehand because the show started at 8. And we needed to get, Gibraltar's an hour away from where we live, and we needed to get there and get a bus to the venue.
And it was a different venue to what we've been. So the last few times we've seen comedians, we've been to St Michael's Caves. This one was at Europa Point.
Which is the furthest point away from the border, isn't
Yes,
it?
it's as far as you can get into the point of Gibraltar, or as you just said, away from Spain.
Yeah. So we didn't have time to eat beforehand. And of course, when we got out, it was very late. So we wanted to get out of Gibraltar as quickly as possible because of border things and whatever. So on our way home, we were trying to think where we could stop. We'd all got into our head that we wanted kebab, and we got kebab.
We did, thanks to me.
Well done.
Thank you. I used to work in Gibraltar, so I knew sort of all the different little routes down there. So when we came back, we came through Torre Guardario. I probably said that completely wrong, and people would say, I thought you said you knew the place. But anyway, we came through that place, which is sort of just right next to Sotogrande Port, basically. And I knew it was quite a buzzy little town. So as we were going through, I think it was you that literally nearly made us jump out of our skin and said, "Hey, they kebab shop."
Yeah, we got very excited.
Yeah, and it was great, lovely.
Yeah, haven't had a kebab in years. Probably won't have another one in years, but we enjoyed that very much.
Yes, we were very hungry.
And today we were aware of how much we might have eaten this weekend, so we went for a little walk on the Paseo. Very nice it was too.
Yeah, very busy still. I mean, what's the date now? 22nd of September.
Yeah.
And the amount of people still here and still on the Paseo is ridiculous.
Yeah, and we couldn't believe that eventually we bumped into lovely Nicole, who was eating at Nuevo Reno for lunch. Nice to see Nicole. But other than that, we didn't see anyone we knew the whole length of the Paseo, which is amazing.
What I did notice is it was a different type of tourist. So they were a little bit more older, can I say that?
A little bit, yeah, well, all the kids are back at school, aren't they?
so they're a little bit more senior.
Retired.
Yes. There were old people up and down there.
No, don't say it like that.
So it's good to see. Lots of the restaurants were busy, so that's great for them.
We better leave it there. We've babbled on enough. We haven't got a Sir in English article for you this week because we felt like we had enough content. So we'll see how we go next week. Have a great week. It is goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from her.